we do something called office. Nope, not 3Fs. Office hours in the Discord. In office hours, we do office hours related things. So if you are a creator, an editor, a graphic designer, if you're a human being, it's your place to ask questions and get feedback. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce our special guest, and then a lot of times what we try to do with these is why this, because Raj, hey, pizza, can we time out Raj? Unless you already did it. Raj is being disrespectful. If you are somebody who needs some help figuring out how to be in this space and creating at either like a part-time or full-time capacity, this is a really great stream to ask those kind of questions. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to introduce Atlas. We're going to talk through who he is, what he does, all that good stuff. And then we'll have some Q&A. You guys can ask some questions, and then we'll do feedback. So if you want the #1 video branding designer on the internet of all time, by the way, not even just in this current year, of all time, we're gonna do feedback. Cool? Everybody doing good, man? I'm not a gamer, but I'm gonna start streaming my. Wait, you're gonna stream candy making? Can we get a big round of applause for the candy artist? Hold on. I gotta prime the sound effects today. Can we please get a big round of applause for the candy artist? Candy making. That's crazy. Insane. Can I ask stupid questions? Raj, just, behave yourself. Please, man. Please. Alrighty, so everything's good on your guys' end? What's up, Polly? Yes, ma'am. I think I'm all good over here. So we're gonna do a little intro for Atlas once I pull him into the call. But just so you guys are familiar with the gentleman that we're speaking with today, Atlas hates titles. He's somebody who hates being labeled as things. He does not like being cornered into a certain box, and he hates answering the question, "What do you do for a living?" Because in essence, he does a little bit of everything. If you are familiar with him, one of the avenues that you might be familiar with is his work with Team Summertime. So Team Summertime was a group of 3 buddies that decided to get together and kind of take over. I mean, it was the Call of Duty space at the time, but it was really like the streaming space for years. It was one of the first streams to do like a multicam stream. So all 3 of them had camera angles set up at one time. Atlas was the man behind that, making that work, making the videos work, making the streams happen, running the events for them, which kind of leads into where he's at now. And Atlas co-founded a business that runs some of the biggest creator events on the platform, specifically in the gaming niche. A lot of them are associated with like charity work, and a lot of times these tournaments are worth tens, 20s. I don't know if we've hit 6 figures for a specific tournament, but in total funding for tournaments that they've done, it's got to be in the like hundreds of thousands, if not probably 7 figures at this point. He's also now, and right when I left, he's now producing Around the Bar with Mr. Hitch a Ride. And speaking of Hitch, there's a running theme here. He tends to be Hitch's right-hand man with his channel as well. He is also, and this is the, this will be the last thing I say. He's also a fantastic designer, brand strategist, editor in his own right. He has a million side hustles. One of them is doing design work. So things that are going to be good to ask questions, or things that are going to be good questions to ask Atlas. Is it too? Okay, I got you. Um, good questions to ask Atlas are going to be things like, is this a smart direction? This isn't working for me. Why isn't this working for me? Those kind of things. So start to think about those questions when we get to the Q&A. Atlas, I know there's a little bit of a delay in the stream and the live, but so I'm gonna keep talking because I'm gonna bring you into the call right now. Just letting you know that I'm gonna bring you to the call. We'll swap over the OBS stream and we'll hit go. All right. In 3, 2, Blobby! Hold on. Blobby! Thank you, big dog. I appreciate you, man. Another genius in the internet space. Y'all should go follow Plobby for Blender tips. All right. Let me go ahead and bring Atlas in. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Maybe? Hello. Check, check.
Good.
Oh my gosh. I was muted in Discord. And
I was just letting you up.
How you doing, man?
Well, let's go. I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
How'd I do on the intro? Did I fluff too much?
You did the damn thing. I was you said he hates titles, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. But it's an absolute pleasure to be here. I appreciate you and your community having me on. There's been it's so funny because just like everyone else, whenever I have editing questions, I immediately go to Wampus's channel and look up a tutorial or do all of that. So it's an absolute pleasure of actually just being able to shoot the shit and see where we end up. Because the thing is, and we can yap forever off camera too long, and where we both have to be like, okay, we have stuff to do, like we have to get going. So expect some tangents today as well, but I'm pumped to be here and pumped to answer any questions that I possibly can in whatever wheelhouse those fall into. But it's yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to have you here. Actually, you know what I'll say is maybe we should, well, never mind. I'm gonna stay focused. We're gonna
stay locked.
Move forward. We can't go on tangents.
We got a show to run.
Before we did this live stream, I asked Atlas to come on a call for like 5 minutes just to say like, hey, like, you make sure just the cams work and everything like that. And like an hour later, we're both like, yeah, you know what? That's the problem with this space. And that's the real problem here. And then it's like, dude, okay, we gotta get back to
we gotta dial in.
So first of all, can everybody please, if you're on Twitch, I don't know if I have this on YouTube, but if you're on Twitch, can you please wave to Atlas? Let's all give him a warm welcome. All right. Bull shy. Let's be nice to Atlas. I gave you like a quick overview of kind of what you're doing now and all that.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to summarize exactly how you ended up in the position that you're in quickly. So I'm going to challenge you to describe your journey from fan to, oh crap, I need to figure out how to do stuff, to now like being a business owner.
Absolutely, yeah. So here's how I'd break it down in like pretty simple. I was working in finance, and my career path was like pretty much you got to choose whether you're going into this like esports content creation side, or you're gonna like go into like a 30-year finance career. And so I, crazily enough, had been watching this group of streamers called TST, Team Summertime, and I just slowly started picking up and doing like graphics for them and doing like community stuff, like moderation stuff. And eventually I was taking off time of work to go like try to help them do stuff. And so I was finally like, all right. So I luckily and crazily shot Hitch a message and was like, and I even printed out slides. I drove up to
You
Dallas,
printed out
met him
slides?
in a, yeah, I'd like, because here's the thing is like, you're asking a streamer to like support you full time, which is like, I don't think this happens damn near ever. So it was crazy enough for me to be like, I'm doing all this stuff for you guys. Like, would you take a chance? Longest story short, because this is like over the course.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
We went like I quit my full-time job and I went full-time with 3 streamers. So I was doing graphics for them. I was running events, and pretty much from there, Hitch and I have worked together for about 6 years at this point.
Oh wow.
And so any kind of like event he's looking, or not even just event, if it's like, hey, Alice, 20 minutes before stream, can we get a thumbnail, graphic design? He's come to me with a million ideas. We've built Pokemon games, we've done trading cards, and so like I'm the logistics guy through and through of that. So that journey necessarily is very slow. I glazed over a bunch of stuff, but it's very slowly incremental of just building piece by piece. So like I started doing like, PC backgrounds in Photoshop. I didn't know how to use Photoshop. I was just like, I know streamers going to need something. And I wasn't going to be a great video editor. I knew that up front. In terms of like video editing wasn't the exact thing I was looking for. So I was like, well, they're gonna need thumbnails. They're gonna need. Hitch has always done like events, so I was like, let's do design stuff. And slowly I worked my way into video editing, but started picking up socials for them, so like TikTok, Instagram. That was when TikTok was like popping off, like just popping off. And from there, it really just slowly, incrementally, just kind of building out that portfolio, and also doing freelance work on the side. So it wasn't, I didn't jump in and be like, support me full time. It was, picking up as many side projects as I could too.
One of the reasons why I'm really excited to talk with you is, one, handsome, but 2 is I think your journey is similar to a lot of people in the stream in that you're not necessarily someone who's in front of the camera a lot, but you end up having to figure out all the things to make the person in front of the camera happen, work, And so what ends up happening, and I know it's why you don't really like titles, is because you, like you were kind of describing, you had to learn Photoshop, you had to learn After Effects. I had to learn graphic design, had to learn how to talk with different businesses and companies, and like how to communicate, how to network, like all these things that end up being the responsibility of like the creator. So there's a lot of people in our community who are solo editors or solo creators who have to wear all of those hats. And so one of the things that I'm hoping that we can maybe get to is like, maybe not, like the buttons that you need to press to make that stuff happen, but like the approach of like, all right,
sure,
I'm in this situation. How do we make this happen, kind of a thing. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to ask you is, when you were first getting into this space, did you feel like there was something that was most important? Was it technical skill? Was it consistency? Was it networking? Was it, do you remember saying like, this is the thing I'm good at? Like, this is where like, I might not be able to be like the best motion graphic artist, but like, this is where I can be above everybody else.
So 2 things there. I think one of my biggest strengths has always been my my figure it out mentality of like whatever your problem is, I'll try to figure out something. So I'm always bringing forward a solution, and it's consistency of that. So the thing, even starting out very early, was always, and I think I did this to a fault, but I think it paid off in some degree. Was I was always available. Any client, like you could call me at 11 o'clock at night, I was picking up the phone, and I think that's very important in terms of how you can approach a career like this. Is not saying I'm here for the money. Hey, like just I'm here to edit your video, pay me. I've always been more of an advocate of saying you got to show up with the value first. So with every client that I've done, I've taken probably a pay cut up front to say like, hey, like I'm not here to just like milk this project dry of every dollar that's there. I've always been more of an advocate of saying I'm going to show up and try to just like help you as a creator first, and that's probably a little bit more niche towards kind of what I do. But so much in the beginning, people look at, you see like Logan Paul editors, or you see like Mr. Beast editors, and you're thinking, oh, I need to make, like, I can make so much money off this, and everyone wants everyone wants a little bit of money. But the thing is like at the end of the day, it was showing up consistently and not just and like being genuine and trying to build a relationship instead of this like I'm just adding someone to my like list, like my resume. Like, oh, I've worked with this creator, and now most of the creators I started off working with, I still work with, and the reason is because I took I actually cared about not just the one project we worked on, but our relationship kind of moving into that. And so like perfect example is Hitch and I have worked together for 6 years. Like we've done projects that have just bombed. But like I still care about the success of him as a creator. Aside from, us having a business together and like channels we've worked on and projects we've worked on, outside of it, I'm just trying to make sure that like he's happy with the end product first.
Sure.
So like if I edit a TikTok for him, or if I edit I have clients that I've worked with for years, and it's like, I want your channel to do well. I want your career to do well, because the longer you do well, the longer we get to work together. It's not like a one-stop shop of like, oh, well, you'll just like, I'll see you later. It's always been about consistency and showing up in the most genuine way possible, and not forcing that. Like I'm not in the DMs of every one of my past clients like, hey, you need something, but it's like you check in every now and again and you say like, what value can I provide? I think that's been my biggest strength of saying like I am trying to be consistently available, and not to a fault of like not driving myself crazy, which Wampus knows I do drive myself crazy, but I think it comes with that territory.
Yeah, I think it's you live and thrive in the gaming space and kind of gaming adjacent. I would say less so nowadays, but I kind of keep my toes in the water with the gaming scene, and I think like what you're saying is really important, and I don't know if I stress it enough, but sometimes it feels like there's a competition when you're working with people to who can win. Like who can get the most out of the relationship. Like, all right, I'm going to work with an editor. I'm going to see like how much I can squeeze them to make the best video. And then if you're an editor, you're like, I want to figure out how much I can charge them so I get the most for my time. But unless you are at like a top 1% creator, the community, the ecosystem in this creator space, it is, what is that saying? All strong tide raises all ships. Like it is really important that there is some kind of communal, hey, we all got to work together to make this happen, because otherwise, yeah. So,
I think one thing that needs to kind of be pointed out, and most creators are not business people. So coming from finance, I've witnessed business from kind of that more traditional sense. And what people don't see in this industry is creators are just startup businesses. You have no budget. You're trying to stretch every dollar that you possibly can. You don't ever have enough time. And at some points, hiring someone sounds like a nightmare. That's a startup business through and through. Okay, you're going to go take on capital. What do you think sponsors are? You're just taking on outside, quick capital. So and not saying everyone needs to go read, small business, whatever. But once I started approaching, streamers and content creators as small businesses, it starts making a lot more sense when they're not wanting to pay a quadrillion dollars for all this extra stuff, right? So when you start approaching stuff of saying hey, we're gonna need thumbnails, we're gonna need whatever, and now being on the opposite side of things, where I go and hire video editors, where I go and hire thumbnail designers, when sure I could do it myself, but at some point the amount of time that you're pouring in on these things is let me go get someone that's additionally really good. Because one, if I'm not here and someone needs a thumbnail, I want to help provide for that too. It's building that community, not just around your business, but within the community of understanding hey, I know really talented people. It doesn't mean that I need every single dollar, because again, all tides kind of rising. And so just to say on the small business front of if you are just starting out and you're really trying to just jump into this thing and all that, you have to realize that well, I'm trying to market myself to a small business. What are you actually providing of their value? Because it's easy to go to a huge creator and say I want $5,000 for 27 projects or whatever. However, it's if you don't show up with the value, if you don't show up with kind of a tailored experience for them, their small business doesn't need you.
Right.
And that's not to say you're not talented and you're not doing great. It's saying you're just not providing the value they need. To be honest with you, if Team Summertime didn't say yes, I would have went down a list of 100 creators until I found one. So it's not to say that I'm not lucky. I'm extremely lucky. But here's the thing, I've been consistently lucky. And that's not saying I'm the best, and Wampus loves to shoot the shit and knows that I hate talking about myself in this regard. But when you show up consistently and you show up providing value that they didn't realize they needed, that's when you get genuine relationships in this space. It's not saying, oh, I want a Twitter follow and I want the retweets and I want the. It's gonna come, but at the end of the day, when you're constantly chasing this, are you building a resume or are you building a career? Because most people aren't trying to build a career. They're treating this like a 9-to-5 job that they clock in, they clock out. If you're trying to build a career, how would you approach that differently? And I'm not necessarily the expert on those things, but I do approach it as you're trying to build a sustainable career.
Yeah.
So even if you have that exponential growth, I think that's really important.
I mean, I don't know if there's ever really truly an expert in this space. It's but I wish I could do a better job of kind of encapsulating all the things that you have to manage at the end of the day, because there are so many different moving pieces, and you are now somebody who, like you said, has to work with other people, and you have to bring on other people. So before I get to my next question, real quick, just want to thank Mingus, Ice. Thank you guys for the Twitch subs. I'm gonna probably mute the alerts for the rest of the stream just so we can keep on with the conversation. If you guys are coming into the stream a little bit later as well, this is office hours. We're doing it live. Most of the time we do it Thursdays inside the Discord. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I got a little Word doc off to the side, and I will write down your questions, and we're gonna get to Q&A in just a little bit. So one of my questions for you, now that you've done both, you've worked with editors and you've hired editors. We have editors and creators in the chat here. When you're, okay, let's say you put it out job posting, wherever you're posting it, right? And you're saying, hey, need some help with this. You know, you'll probably reach out to your network, but like, let's say the network is closed. You're like, all right, I need some help. What are some things that you normally look for when you're bringing on help? And what are some things that normally frustrate you when you're bringing on help?
Sure. So what do I look for? Immediately, what I don't look for is, and there's a caveat here, is if you send me something that it immediately reeks of AI and laziness. And that's not to say that, like, and I get that people are using like AI voiceover, and AI is a tool that isn't a replacement of creativity. However, the first thing, if I see you just using AI, I'm not going to hire you because I can use AI too.
Sure.
And I know in a creative space that freaks people out, but I'm just saying, if you immediately show up and say like, oh, here's this like half-assed work, I'm like, okay, like then I can do half-assed work too.
Right. I don't need that.
But I'm paying someone to do the work.
Yeah.
We actually did put out a posting for ATB around the bar editor for short form. And just going through a lot of that, I think I went through 100 applicants. And the biggest thing that would draw me closer was one, responsiveness of like, how quickly are you responding to me?
Okay.
Not in terms of like, not because of like, I don't get that, you know, let's say you got to go to your mom's house and like, whatever. If you immediately put in interest and I say, hey, do you have a portfolio? You ghost me? What do I do? Like, what do I do with that for? This is, if you're treating this like a real opportunity, then like, are you available? That's one thing. Two, in terms of a portfolio, is like, does it fit the script for what I'm looking for? Right? Like, this is really, it's really cool if you've edited commercials. What does that have to do with podcast clips? If you've sent me a bunch of gaming stuff and you're applying like a bunch of gameplay TikToks, those are great because I can see you can do captions and everything. But does that show me that you know how to pick up, like, do the job? So the thing for me is like, how applicable are you to what you're actually applying for? Because I've applied for positions I have, or like even portfolio stuff that I have no right of doing. We've all been there where we're like let's just hope that I'm throwing a Hail Mary and hope this works. So I've been on that side of things too. So one thing from the hiring process that I appreciate, and Wampus and I talk about a lot, is like, I've been the freelancer.
Yeah.
So I've been on the side of like, I'm pitching you high. Like, I'm pitching you high because I'm hoping, like, you know, we all need money at the end of the day. But what strength that gives me is seeing through kind of the facade of, I know you're a little less qualified than what you're approaching me with, especially if you show me a portfolio. That shows that.
Yeah.
And also what cuts people out is overqualification.
Overqualification.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So if you are editing cinematic movies every day and you come to me and you're charging what your experience is saying you should charge.
Sure.
I'm running a small business here. Creators are a small business.
Yeah.
I can't pay you $500 a TikTok. That's just not like,
please,
that is not feasibly.
What about
right,
please?
That'd be so sick. And trust me, if I had budget for $500 a TikTok, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But at the end of the day, it's seriously,
what do you mean?
like,
you wouldn't done the stream? Come on, man.
No, I'd be here.
Okay.
There would just be signs, you know what I'm saying? No, no, but at the end of the day, it's like if you're overqualified, there's a level of it's a double-edged sword. There's a level of like respect I gotta say that like I can't pay that. Like I can't pay those exorbitant prices, even though I've been the freelance editor. I agree that editors should be fairly compensated, but there's a fine balance, especially in my side of things. And to be honest with you, there's a level of guilt that I do sit here and feel, even like talking about that, because I've been freelance editor. But like I can't when I'm working in spreadsheets and budgets and everything, I'm like, there's at the end of the day, it's got to make sense for everybody. Right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, to answer your question, I look for consistency,
Uh-huh.
I look for availability, and I look for how relatable or applicable you are for the actual position.
Yeah.
And like, can I see a world where, because I'm all about relationships, of actually building something, I want you to get better with this. Like I want you like to use this as a place of like, be creative. We've all worked on jobs that you're staring at the screen like, dude, I don't even want to look at this thing anymore. So it's like I want to give whoever, like, I'm calling you as an editor because you're a creative person. If I want a copy paste thing, then like,
Right.
you gotta like, if you want something quick like that, go to Fiverr. I know so many people is going to roll their eyes there, but it's like they're doing $5 edits.
Yep.
And you're gonna get a $5 edit.
Yeah.
If I'm bringing a creative person into my fold, creative. I've worked with Wampus a million times, and each time I'm like, there's a level that like, trust me, I have creative control over a lot of this stuff. Go with it. And when you get those opportunities with any client, go as hard as you possibly can,
Sure.
because those are the resume pieces that you're gonna go for. Not some like, sure, you could turn around to TikTok and it's maybe a podcast clip, maybe a gameplay thing. Do something that you've never done before. That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Not everyone can throw captions on. Everyone can do those things. And sometimes the budget doesn't make sense to go super hard.
Yeah.
But that's the lesson that I've learned is like, I've had this much budget and I've put in this much effort.
Yeah. One of the things that like I always say whenever I am doing like feedback either on a channel or an edit is you can always feel effort. It's like it's really easy a lot of times to notice complacency in work. And even if it is like a highly produced piece of content, if I can tell exactly like one for one, either like where you took it from or like the shortcuts that you took to get there, it's definitely a turn off. One thing that I do want to say before we move on is you made a good point about tailoring your portfolio to the job application. There's like in the real grown-up world, let's say you're getting out of school and you're putting together a let's say you're in the cooking world, and actually cooking doesn't do resumes, but we'll just we'll go with, well, maybe they do, I don't know.
Do. Yeah, they do.
Okay, fine, there we go. So like you want to become a chef at like some kind of like steakhouse, but your resume is all baking bread. Like that's fantastic. That's great. You bake some mean bread. But brother, can you cook something medium rare? Like that's what that's what I want to know.
No.
And so if you can't take 10 seconds to put together something that's tailored for this, why should, like, this is my thought process. Why should I take 10 seconds to give you a chance? You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
if this is an opportunity that could potentially lead to potentially like a career's worth of work, and you can't give me 30 minutes to put something together, I just can't take that serious.
I also want to say that like some of the opportunities I've had, I did not send them a giant portfolio. I sent them like actual work that I did.
Hmm.
So like I didn't send them like my glorious portfolio site that has all the animations and like, no, just sent over like, here's how many views I did in a month. Like here's the event design that I did. Anytime I talk to clients now, I just send them what I've done. I don't tailor this like luxury portfolio experience. Now, those are great for agencies. Those are great for sponsorships. Those are great for everything has those places. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't build out their portfolio and make it a bunch, like, make it really impressive. But include your finest work on it. And include the finest work that you send people things. Already have in mind what you'd send. Now I work with a bunch of creators. So if someone's coming to me for logo design, I'm not going to send them the TikTok I edited.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sure, that's in my portfolio, but I have a wide range of portfolio over 6 years. So it's like, if people come to me for event design, I have a bunch for that. I'm not going to send you my TikToks. I'm not going to send you, XYZ. So already kind of have in mind what pieces you'd send. And all I would say, just keep them in a desktop folder and just say like, and just label them. And I know Wampus said I hate labels, but like, best TikToks I've ever edited, best logos I've ever made, best event design. So when something pops up, you're already prepared. I'm really big into preparation of like, just don't tweak out about it. Just have those things in the back pocket.
Yeah.
So it's like you can hand pick from your finest work that you already know is in there. And it's good to clean it out every once in a while. Like, I'm not an expert in building portfolio. My website is like, I built that 5 years ago, and now I just update it every like quarter. And I'm like, oh yeah, we did do some events. Like, oh, let me throw it in there.
Yeah,
but I don't have my edits. I don't have all that. It's just some of my finest work.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's yeah. I got nothing to add there. All right. I think what we'll go ahead and do is we'll move over to Q&A. Chase, I see you pestering in the chat, sir. Your question, I don't know if it's an easy one to answer quickly. Chase's question was, guide me so I can make money through editing. That is a super loaded question, and I'm sorry if you are feeling pressured and stressed to make money quickly. Been there. It's stressful. It's not a fun position to be in. And I'll let before I answer Chase's questions, I'm going to say a couple things. One, if you guys have questions, go ahead and type in the chat, and I'll start fielding them. I heard of a couple. We'll go ahead and get through as many as we can. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Shoot, I don't remember. All
I've seen 3 steak questions. I just need to shut this shit down right now. I like it medium rare. Just for the record, just so we can move past this one.
Let's move on.
I've seen like 3 steak
This is
questions.
not a cooking stream.
Medium rare, that's it.
Although cooking would be fun. All right.
That's our next episode.
So Chase, I'm gonna try to answer your question as quickly as possible, just so we can get to some of the other questions. Atlas, I'll let you take a stab at it as well. In essence, the way I'm reading this is, I want to go full-time editing as quickly as possible. Get really good at editing as fast as possible. I don't know what that means to you. I don't know if it's documentary. I don't know if it's short form. I don't know if it's within short form you're doing real estate and that's where you want to hone in on just making gazillions. Doesn't matter to me. I have found that the way that I get work is that I try to do a really good job, whatever that means to me. So my feedback to you is to get as good, as fast possible, and then share your work. Post. Yes, put it online. That would be my 2 cents. Atlas.
Yeah, no, 100%. Working within constraints, time constraints, project restraints, will always creativity is how lazy we can be at something, but in a fun way. So some of the laziest people are the most efficient. You know why? It's because they just don't want to they don't want to do the grindy work. So how quickly can you do the best job possible? Working within those constraints, I'm not saying be super lazy. But what I'm saying is try to be efficient with yourself. Give yourself, I don't know, give yourself the night. Make the best video you can in a night. Give yourself those, because then that makes it so much easier working backwards of saying, how much can I charge for this? If I worked, I don't know, $20 an hour, a TikTok takes me if it takes me an hour, it's kind of worth $20. Now that's a slippery slope, sure, but once you start working in constraints and start building out your tool belt in those constraints, once you start getting more time on projects, you actually know what's feasible. So the thing that, just one last thing on this question is, I need it for money. I have a slightly hard time with that because this isn't a quick field for money. First of all, being paid on time in this industry, insane. So if you're trying to rely on, oh, I need this by Thursday at 5 o'clock, rent's due Friday.
Not gonna happen.
Dog, that's probably not gonna happen.
It's unfair expectations.
It's very unfair expectations, one for you and two the client. I've been paid 3 months after.
Insane.
That's just when stuff happens. And unfortunately, that is just kind of the nature of this industry. So coming at this and saying, I need this today. Maybe let's reapproach it and say, how do I hone these skills so I can get consistent in the future? And I know that's a very okay, dude, he's just telling me work now and reap the benefits later, but this isn't a quick money thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, totally. All right. It's a good question. It's a hard one to answer quickly because you're kind of asking for a lifetime's worth of guidance in a couple minutes. But let's give Chase a big round of applause. Thank you.
Double your question, please.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you. Let's give Chase a big round of applause. Yeah, dude, I still think, I get it. I can understand net 30. Net 60 is a hard one, man. That's a crazy one.
The issue that people don't realize is sometimes with who you're being paid by is waiting on a contract themselves. So sometimes if I'm doing a stream, I'm helping a streamer with a sponsor stream, my money's coming from that sponsor. They're waiting on net 30, net 60. And then if my contract says, or my agreement says, hey, I'm waiting on net 30, net 60, net 90, you start compounding those. Now, sure, if a creator has everything and everything's going right, that's great. I can't tell you how many times that it's hey, I want to pay you. We are waiting on this contract. That has happened so many times. So I totally understand that is where that comes from, but sometimes that's just is how it is. Are you picking questions, or do we both need to be hunting questions? I just need to
I am picking and sorting them. Don't you worry.
Okay. Listen, I like doing things, so you just let me know how I can.
Nope. This is one time you are not producing the show, sir. You just you get to be the smart guy in the chair. All right. So Tim has a question. Camera Tim is our local resident expert. He has one of the strongest jawlines in the community. He's one of the most handsome, and he's got a great voice. And Tim is super, super talented. Tim has a question. He said, might be a bit of a loaded question. When are some good indicators that it's time to start a proper business? And what steps would you recommend he takes? Or like, what would be some things that you wish some steps you would have taken sooner? So two questions
Okay.
or two parts.
When is a good time to start a business? When this is going to sound very business answered, when liability can fall on you. So what that means is businesses in general are safeguards. So if you get sued, who has liability? And who is liable for creating structure around this? So if you're editing, necessarily how I would cap it is if you're earning more than $1,000 a month, just go start an LLC. They're not crazy. You're not going to get like, there's a million services out there that will help you do this. The reason I say that is because it's very smart to separate it. We all, if we're working in our bedroom, it's really easy to be like, oh, well, that money came into my business, my bank account. That's great. One thing, this will answer the next part of the question is, be so smart on your taxes. I know so many creators that are like, oh, I just send money off and I just get money in it. It's great. Don't do that. Like, if you're an editor, or like, make sure you get your 1099s at the end of the year. Make sure and the reason why that's so important is because for your business, that holds you like, I'm good. I got, me with a tax man. I'm good. I'm chilling. Don't screw me because you're lazy with your taxes. So
Right.
get your 1099s at the end of the year and get an accountant or sign up, TurboTax, whatever. Obviously not sponsored, but like, please be smart on that kind of stuff. And also don't be afraid to invest that money back in. Get the, whatever you feel like would help. If there's a plugin, like a paid plugin or something like those things, those can reap benefits. And I am not a financial expert. This is not financial advice. Whatever,
Yes, it
but
is.
just
Take him
no,
to
it
court.
is not. Legally, that's all I got.
Somebody get him.
But yeah.
So for you, starting a business, it was, mostly about protecting yourself and just making sure
Protecting yourself and structuring around yourself so that at the end of the year, money makes sense on paper.
Was there something that you wish you had either like signed up for, registered, set up, started doing earlier when you had first started doing icons?
So icons being just if anyone's coming in late to the stream, icons is, since it's a creator event company and we work directly business to business with people, the biggest thing for us very early on was we had already been doing icons work before we even started the business. So actually consolidating a lot of things so we had thrown like charity events and stuff previously. As a business, we want to say, hey, we've raised X number of dollars on charity. However, before you start a business, it's kind of like outside the wheelhouse. It's like, it's not under Icon's name. So it's hard to kind of build the business portfolio of that. And now in terms of like stuff that we registered with, there's a bunch of like actual administrative business stuff. There's like LegalZoom and stuff like that you can do, that you can set up business, and they have like attorneys and stuff that you can slide your contracts through and be like sponsorship agreements and everything, and you can just pay an attorney by the hour. Those are very powerful things that a lot of people just don't think about when you're going, oh, I just need to edit videos, or I just need to do graphics or whatever.
Right.
Very important things to do, and I really wish there was more education out there for creators about these things. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, Tim, hopefully that answers your question, sir. Let us know if you have more follow-ups and Atlas can get to it. Can we get a big round
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
applause for Tim? Thank
Everyone.
you. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you,
Absolutely,
man.
W Tim.
All right. If anybody is tuning into the stream a little bit late, this is office hours. It's your time to get feedback and ask questions on all things editing. I will say today, and I don't remember if I said this early on, today's not a great day for like how to do this in DaVinci Resolve kind of questions. These are like if you have questions about just how do I make it as an editor, creator, designer, strategist in the old content world, it's a good day for that. All right. All of Atlas's, I think I put all of Atlas's stuff, channels, and all that he helps, works with, runs in the description as well if you're curious about more of his stuff. All right. I'm gonna let you answer this one, and then I have an answer to this one as well. Easy Grub. Easy Grub said, every time I go to edit, I can't stop myself from launching up a game. How do I get past distractions? And before you answer that, Atlas, I'm curious, for anybody who is watching the stream right now, do you guys have any tricks to not boot up Valorant and spawn in? Do you have any tricks? Atlas, do you have any tricks or techniques to not boot up Minecraft and start creating a new world?
So, yeah. This is gonna sound kind of harsh. Give yourself office hours. So I can only game after a certain time. My list of shit to do constantly grows. So like, it's easy to fall into that trap of, oh, I need to, like, there's the next thing I need to do, next thing. However, your brain needs time to like jet off. Recently there's been this game, How to Fish, where you fish and then you like shoot them with like AKs and stuff. It's been the most fun thing in the world. However, so I've been like addicted to that. I just 100%ed it with some of my boys last night, and it's so easy to be sitting there editing a TikTok or going through a spreadsheet, and I'm like, dude, I could just be fishing. I could just be shooting some pixels right now. No, but seriously, it really comes down to like how pressing it is. If you are, and I'm gonna say the response that people probably won't want to hear. If you're pushing off the thing that you say you're passionate about, are you passionate about it? And I know that's not the fun question to ask yourself, but do you love this more than gaming? If gaming is just the numbness, or to numb it all out, and you're stressing about a hobby that you're doing or the editing that you're supposed to be doing, that's where to tackle that first. That's the root of the problem to me. Is why are you pushing off? And that's just me. And that's kind of the way that and you can gamify things. You can be like, oh, I'll edit for Pomodoro timers are great, especially for long editing sessions, because I totally understand. Edit your ass off. 45 minutes, take a 20-minute break, play a game Val. Well, I don't know if Val might be like 30 minutes a game, but edit on and off.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But also, when that timer comes back, I know gamers, you don't get a one more. You jump right back in. Like,
one more quick game.
Just one more. And then you're 6 hours later,
just
and
play
I'm
TDM
still shooting
quick.
fish on a pixelated beach, and I'm like, this can't happen. So, and seriously, it's how disciplined are you? And if you're not disciplined, then maybe dive into that.
Yeah. There's I just got finished reading Atomic Habits about 10 years later than everybody else did, and like his he's got rules about making habits easier by like making them obvious, making them rewarding, making them enjoyable. If you're having problems avoiding something, make it really hard to do. So I think somebody said like uninstall the game. So like it's okay to reinstall it when you want to play, but make it so that like you actually have to like want to play the game and install it so that you can play it again. I do think that what you said about the passion is like, are you actually wanting to do this is always a really good point, because at the end of the day, nobody is requiring you to make videos except you. Like if you have an obligation, obviously that's one thing, but like you chose to go do this. This is like your choice to be here and want to work on your videos. So
There is a video that I don't know if I could like, throw this somewhere. I tweeted it out, and this is a few weeks ago, but it tackles the idea of hobbies, and I think that is
I shared
very
it.
it is one of the best videos I think I've watched in the past few years. I don't know where to throw this. I'll DM to Wampus, and he can throw it in channels I don't want to get banned. It is necessarily, he talks about being the guy. So he starts being a car guy, and what that he starts to feel this fear of like, oh, maybe you're the Valorant guy. Then maybe you slowly start to wean into being the editing guy. Allow that. Allow yourself to not be the Valorant guy anymore. And that video was very eye-opening to me, of being like, because I'm such a hoarder. Like, I mean, you can see the shelf behind me. I have a lot of things that I'm interested in. Right now, I'm a reading guy. Right now, I'm a shoot fish on a pixelated beach guy. But I'm okay with being the Atlas guy first.
Yeah.
And allowing that to take a lot more precedent. That video really changed a lot for me.
Yeah, it's beautiful too. It's like gorgeously made. Super cool. All right, can we get a big round of applause for Easy Grub?
Easy Grub.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good question, man. I will say, even if you are passionate about editing, there are definitely, or making videos, there are definitely nights you're like, dude, I could care less about this timeline right now.
Well, there is a point of saying, just because you're tired doesn't mean you hate what
right.
you're doing either.
Maybe you just need a break.
Hey man, you're tired. You've been editing for 16 hours staring at the same piece.
Go to bed, man.
Go to bed. It's not, that doesn't mean you're not passionate about it. But if you find yourself over a month of saying, how many times did I avoid this thing? That's where I'm saying, maybe there's a deeper issue here. Maybe you actually don't love editing game videos as much as you do.
Right. You just like gaming.
And enjoying that I know everyone says like, trust the process, love the entire process, but it's so true. The reason I help creators so much is because I love, from the start to the end of it, when they go, hey, here's this problem I need doing, to the minute I press publish.
Right.
If you don't love that entire process, maybe that's not and that's pressing publish in Premiere, DaVinci, that's exporting it as, once you finish that process, if you don't truly enjoy it, if you're not starting with that question, then I don't know how, if you haven't come to terms with that question, then I'd be a little, I would start there.
Okay.
W question,
man. All right. Next up is the one and only Fakos. Fako is somebody who does breakdowns, analysis, psychoanalysis videos that look at the core of humanity, and they make really, really cool videos. So their question is, if I'm trying to build a brand beyond my core content, I'm trying to build a brand beyond what I just make for content, should I try to set up those pillars now before that core is good? Or should I just focus on my content? Should I just focus on the main channel? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always operated under the place of, okay, there's two worlds, two of my dream worlds. One, I'm so prepared. I've done everything before I'm so prepared. I'm good. I have every spreadsheet, everything. I even asked Wampus before this. I'm like, do you want me to prepare anything? I love
Said
preparation.
no, man. Just show up.
No, just show up and sit in the chair, Alice. What are you doing, man? But no, seriously, there's a world that I love to be prepared. Unfortunately, I think the better answer here is do it as you go. Now that's not to say you can't do a base level foundation of saying, hey, I'm getting my logo design, I'm getting, my branding, I'm getting all these things. As someone that has done a bunch of branding previously for a bunch of creators, half the stuff they don't use. And that's not saying don't provide that. I'm saying, no, if it's for you, you kind of know, you'll get an idea of what you're going to use. So if that's branding, like, I would categorize that like, let's say you're trying to do all your social media to make sure it's all good. So that's like profile pictures, banners, Twitch panels, overlays, like whatever. That's all one category to me. That's a pillar to me. So I would say do it more as you go because it's for you. So you're going to spend a bunch of time doing stuff that some guy in a YouTube video says, here's the pillars that you need for your business. Are you going to use it? Then build that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's how I'd go about that.
I think it's, do you ever feel like kind of piggybacking off that question, have you been in a situation where you've overplanned your strategy and like how you want to go about the next year or two, or not really?
Every project. I'm so serious. Every project. There's been so many times that I have so Hitch calls me a tweaker because I'm constantly trying to be like, well, what if they send this message and we have to be like, bro, at the end of the day, it's so much easier on paper to go, oh, here's what I don't need. Here's the stuff that I didn't need. But hindsight is so 2020, and trust me, as someone that doesn't have natural 2020, it does not come natural to me. Hindsight is like the most powerful thing. So now I've done 20 something events. I know the things that I over prepared in the past. And I also know the things that it'll take a bunch of work, but it might make my life a little bit easier in that process. Sure, it might take me 2 hours to do something. That over preparation is so powerful in a degree of knowing the level of preparation that's needed. So the thing that you could joke about is you sometimes hate to be right. So the thing with preparation is over preparation is I can prepare for 16 hours the night before something, and sometimes I get, I was right, and I was like, see, I like just even telling myself, see, I told you I was going to need this. Or did I just craft that opportunity for myself to need it? It's all dependent. But I would say that like preparation is a muscle, and it takes a lot of experience to get right. And I'm not right, so I over prepare a lot, and I tweak out a lot over things. So yeah, that's a long-winded answer to that. I think it just comes with time.
Yeah, same way. I'm definitely a thinker. All right, can we give a big round of applause for Faco? Thank you.
Thank you, Faco.
Thank you. Good question, man. It's hard, man. It's hard when you're wearing all the hats and you're trying to figure out what the heck you're supposed to be doing. So, we've got a few more questions we got going on, and then let's try to be, I get probably a little bit quicker with these questions so we get to feedback. If you guys have videos you want reviewed, channels you want reviewed, or you need just like opinions on something that you're working on, go ahead and prep those, and then we'll get to those in just a little bit. Cool. Also, hi Gabri. I don't know if I missed anybody else coming in saying hello. I appreciate you guys, everybody coming in, hanging out, having a good Thursday. I always enjoy doing office hours with everybody. Good time. Good time just
I can
yapping,
do
man.
this. I could do this all day. I could sit here and just chat all day. This is so much fun.
Dude, it's always fun too, because like they can't argue back with you either. So you could just be like, dude, you're just doing it wrong. And they just like, what? And you're like, no, listen, bud, you're doing it. Rest me.
You're like, you're doing it wrong. W question though. Anyways.
W
no.
question. Can we get a big round of applause? Next question. Thank you. All right. Next question is from Lamal, and this is a good question as well. And I think we kind of touched on it with Chase, because it's not an easy question to answer quickly. So I'm going to challenge you to be efficient with your wording.
Locked. I'm so locked.
Question is simply, how do you motivate yourself to not give up?
Hmm.
What about you guys in the stream? Do you guys have anything that you do to help motivate you, give yourself direction?
This is wow. This is gonna sound very like alpha super chat. I don't give myself the option to.
Go on.
And that's giving up is like, oh, I'll just like cut my losses. That's it. I don't really. You have to not allow yourself, like, so many people jump into things, but like, oh, I could go work at Walgreens or whatever. Oh, I could just like, you're already giving the other thing so much power. That's not saying dive into everything, no plan B, don't be smart. But like, to be honest with you, I quit my finance job. I didn't really think of what was going to happen if this didn't work out. I went, this is just going to work out. I just have to. This is like a Rubik's cube. There's a way to figure it out. It's like, so not to sound like super like gigabrain whatever, but it's like I just don't give myself the option of giving up. And how do you motivate yourself out of those slumps is really to say, like, I could pull a quote, but it's like, yeah, I'm tired too, but you got a dream to chase.
Yeah.
You want to make this thing happen. Like it's not about the giving up part. That's not even in the picture frame. So why are you giving it so much power to be in the picture frame? I don't know. I've always had an appreciation for that regard of just I don't give up on things, and that can be a fault. But that's where I'd land there. How about you?
I don't. I am to an age now where I'm entering the back half of my lifespan. We're on.
Can we get an 07 in the chat for Uncle Wampus?
We've officially been well over the Unk status. So for me, I have people that depend on me that I have to show up for. And it's as simple as that. Like, even if I will say that, like, if you want some like pragmatic advice, I think some other people have said, you know, like just be there, just show up. Just show up when you can. Even if it's like that whole saying if you're trying to get in the gym, right? Even if you go to the gym and you just walk on the treadmill for 5 minutes, good for you. You went to the gym. Just show up. Show up when you can. Make it a part of your identity that's what you do. That is who you are. You show up. That's what you do. Good question.
I've always kind of pushed it to like, I want to make YouTube videos. Cool. Do one at 110%. Start that. Give yourself 45 minutes. I'm going to do this for 100% for 45 minutes. You have to build that endurance up.
Sure,
you're not gonna jump into your first YouTube video and just nail it. You might. Statistically, probably not, but you might. It's gonna suck. And that's the best part. For your first work to suck, if I could pull up most of my first work And I'm like, dog, what was he doing? But that's the best part. It sucks for a reason because you don't know. That's why creativity is the easiest. Like, let it suck because then you know what to learn from.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know, jumping into that and saying, "Whoa, this sucks. I don't know why." That's why you guys are in a community like this. It's filled with resources of people going like, "Hey, this may be better this way or that way," and that's really important.
Yeah. Answer, man. That's a good question. We get a big round of applause for Easy. Thank you. That's a good question, man. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. I don't think I said this as well, but I do normally say this during office hours. Take everything Atlas and I are saying also with a grain of salt. We are two random dudes on the internet. We do not know your life, your situation, what you're going through. So, you know,
Absolutely.
if this can help, great. If not, you know, maybe it'll give you some things to think about. But good question, man. All right. All right. So Shark is another DaVinci dude. He makes some really cool plugins in DaVinci Resolve. We do like Shark. He's the young prodigy, the goat. And he said he has 2 questions. I'm going to pick the first one so that we can keep it pushing. On what was requested. Okay. So, first question is, and I'm curious what you guys would do in the stream as well if you're in this situation. What would you do in a situation where you're trying to show attention to detail, fast turnaround, extra effort beyond what was requested, and consistency, but the client just does not care? Like, you give them the videos, you give them the final products, and you're trying things, and they just said, "Yep, good, thank you." How do you respond to that? Do you take it? Do you ask questions? Do you do anything? Do you just say, "Okay, sending the invoice"? Do you have any response to that? I'm
Mm,
assuming it's like on a consistent basis. It's not just like a
yeah.
one-off, like,
Well, to me, it sounds like you're wanting critique. Like it sounds like you're wanting them to create with you. Um, and to some people, if they're hiring you, they don't want to create with you. They want you to do your job and start do your thing, and then they just take the product that you give them. Some people don't want to be super involved in that. So to me, it sounds like that's just a want for them to critique the work or to like add their twist on it. And it's sort of like the client isn't in that that mentality too. So I think that's how you approach that. Is like some clients just don't do that. Like I have some clients that call me and say, "Hey, I need a thumbnail in 20 minutes, go." And like I just go. And I'm not asking them, "Okay, here's step 1, does this look good? Okay, here's step 2, does this look good?" No. Okay, no, they want to be involved. They just
right.
want the quick kind of answer. So I think it's what are you trying to get out of it's what you're trying to get out of it and what the client's trying to get out of it. And I think you have to kind of understand what your client's trying to um and it doesn't have to be explicitly asked. I think you can I think most people can pick up on context clues like, oh, they just want a solution. Uh this isn't math class anymore. You don't always have to show your work. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to constantly be checking with them if your answer's right. If they value you creatively, then trust your judgment. And I generally think that's a good sign more than a bad sign. But I don't know your guys' relationship with clients and stuff like that.
Okay. Good answer. The second question was, here's, okay. I'm gonna. Okay. So this actually might be a better one for you to answer. So I'll go ahead and ask it. What would you do in a situation where you have improved at your craft, but you're still working with the same person and they don't want to pay you more? The quote is, "Your service used to cost this much. I'm not paying more."
Well, there's just because you've gotten better doesn't mean that the product is performing better. If it's performing better, let's say in this case, you're editing videos. At first, you don't even know how to open DaVinci Resolve. Now you're a Wampus level editor. If that doesn't equate value to like, if their channel's not growing and things like that, then that's a reevaluation of you with that client. That's not a reevaluation of your work getting better versus not better. Is your work performing better? That's a different conversation. If you've gained, like, if your every edit you've gotten has gained them over 1 million subscribers or 100,000 or 10,000, this isn't a casual 9 to 5. These are contract bases. You can go back and say, hey, I'm looking for more money in this, whatever, moving forward. But can you show based on paper, like, here's the value that I've gotten better at editing, here's your higher subscriber count or viewer count or whatever, right? And I don't think those always go hand in hand, but I would say that's more of a relationship with your client, and that is that can be arrogance or ignorance that is kind of clashing there. And I'm not saying you're arrogant or ignorant. I'm not saying your client is either. I'm just saying that I think there can be some things there that remember, these are people. They're not just an ATM that are just printing you out money. So just keep those things in mind. It's not I don't think it's as easy as that, but if you can show on paper, hey, I'm improving, and they still don't want to pay you, it might be time to go find a new client.
Oh. Out of there. Good question, Shark. Can we get a big round of applause for Shark? Thank you. Good question, man. Shark is also really good at what he does. He is incredible. I mean, buddy could literally be working at like a Hollywood studio. Saying it. All right, we've got a couple more questions, and then we're gonna go into feedback. We're approaching the 1.5-hour-ish mark. Atlas, are you good for like another half hour or so?
Brother, you're good. Run
it. Oh, no. All right.
I might have to hit the restroom really fast if that's so cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could have like a few seconds.
You have my permission. Go, man. Get out of here. Scram. Listen, guys, I have so many problems with Atlas. I cannot believe that he's wriggled his way on stream. I can't get rid of him. I don't like, he hits me up one day, says, go live. I'm coming on your stream. I'm like, brother, please, man. I have so many other things. Listen, everybody, hope you're all having a good Thursday. I know I've been kind of ignoring the constant stream of Chatteroonies, but I appreciate everybody who's hanging out. Questions. I really enjoy doing the office hours live with y'all. Yeah. So, Candy Artist, that is, I don't know if I might be ignorant, but have you been in the stream or in the Discord before? Because that is sick. If you make content around candy, that is so cool, man. I guess while Atlas is using the bathroom, if you guys didn't know, we normally do hold these conversations here in Discord. It's over here. So we don't always have a guest. We don't always have a guest going, but if you guys have like, editing questions or things that you're working on, most of the time when we do office hours, we can talk like DaVinci and nodes and fusion and animation and that sort of thing. So if you guys do want to join another office hours, by the Discord. Andy wanted to know if you washed your hands.
I did.
Good.
I got a new soap that is incredible.
Wow.
It's like a raspberry thing. Dude, I just go in there and be washing my hands all the time because it smells incredible. Also, I do have wireless headphones, so I did hear everything that you're saying about me. So that's tough. That is tough.
One of my favorite things about Atlas his willingness to take feedback and critique, even live on stream.
Just a critique as me as a person.
Yeah.
Just he's like, hey man, you're kind of
Please.
chocked.
Get off. Yes, office hours are every Thursday. We normally do them around this time as well. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later. All right, we got a couple more questions. Next up is Captain Cringe. Is a tough handle, man. I used DaVinci Resolve, so okay. So Mr. and Mrs. Cringe asked 2 questions. I'll try to answer the first one quickly, and then I'll let you go with the second one. First question was, I use DaVinci Resolve, and I have solid skills in the edit page. The issue I found is basic jobs on Fiverr seem to require heavy motion graphic skill. How do you be lazy with something like nodes? So if you want to be lazy with nodes, create presets. Every time you do something in Fusion, save it. Even if it's literally just a keyframed animation, save that animation. You can always delete it later. You can always change it later, but just save it. If you are not getting paid enough for motion graphics and it's taking too much time, you need to charge more. Charge more or don't take the job. Or take the job for experience. It doesn't matter to me. You got to make that decision on your own. But my pragmatic answer is just save your presets. The second question they'd asked was, oh, damn. I just thought of like 3 things after reading. So, how do you avoid being ashamed when you've been a part of a project that has ended in disaster? So, how do you move past being on something that just ate dog diarrhea afterwards? Any thoughts?
That's part of the, to me, that's part of the journey. We if Hitch ever watches this, he's gonna just roll his eyes. We took 11 months and built a custom Pokemon game. I mean, we hand did every pixel of every creator. We made a game guide. We were like so prepared and built, like, and poured our heart and soul into this game. And the video bombed. Just bombed. And people liked the game that played it, but like it just bombed. I don't think it got 30,000 views. And you know, that sucks. However, I can say I made a game at some point. You just kind of roll with the punches. Like, to be honest with you, the project bombed. That's just as much part of the journey as a project doing super well. If every project does super well, I mean, yes, you're probably pretty talented, but like, you're gonna have bombs, and that just sucks.
Dude, this video was a banger too. Absolute.
Oh, you pulled it up. Oh god. Oh man, I wanted it to do so well.
Sangria. Can people still download and play it?
Yeah, if it's still live in the TST Discord.
That's crazy. So
let's see.
Atlas,
yeah, you can
literally built out a. Would it be fair to call it a ROM hack?
Yeah, it's a ROM hack.
Yeah, built out.
It's off of Heart Gold's. It was off Heart Gold, yeah.
From scratch for a video, just for a video and for stream. It's incredible. Whenever I think of, like, dude, something that should have been appreciated that wasn't. So
that's the one that hurts my heart the most. That one is like, and I wear it on my sleeve. You know what I mean? It's like, it happens. Like that sucks that it didn't work out super well, but like, it happens.
It happens. Do you actually have a physical cartridge of it?
I think Hitch does. I don't personally have one. Except I did buy a what is the Analog Pocket? The like super new yeah, I bought one of those too because I'm like, yeah. But I have it on my phone emulator, and it's so sick because like we did 100 Thieves was Team Rocket, and it was like 100 Thieves was Team Rocket, and Nade Shot was, you know, the lead boss of that, and then we had like your rival being Zuma, and like in every creator, we had to pick their own Pokemon. So you could go, your first boss could be a Gyarados. Like your first gym could be a Gyarados, like whatever. So yeah, that was
Would
that was so tough.
did they play it as a
That was so tough.
Nuzlocke or no?
No, they
Oh,
didn't do
okay.
Nuzlocke. Actually, we had a bunch of people in our community that tried it as Nuzlocks. Turns out when you give everyone,
When you
uh,
the gyms have legendaries.
yes, yeah, everyone has like Onyx or like um, Hoa or something like that, like Gyarados. It's tough, but I mean, you're facing them like level 12s or something like that, so it's not.
Yeah.
They're not all level 99s, but that one hurt my heart. But
Yeah.
that's okay. That was I still get to say that I've done that, and that's cool.
Can we give cringe a big? Can we give cringe, just the idea and the person cringe, a big round of applause, please?
WWW.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. We got one more question from the one and only candy artist. That is, I still like am mind blown that you content around candy. I just think that's so sick.
That is sick.
That's so fun. Okay, so Candy says, not an editor. Because my business is new and I'm relearning editing so I can take my lives to VODs and then to shorts. I do everything myself, voiceover. Any hints to make that process faster? That content pipeline faster?
So if you're doing everything yourself, I would imagine. I mean, like, there's apps like CapCut that make things super easy to just take the video, throw it in. There's a lot of automation in that stuff, and I know probably in a in a DaVinci community that probably gets some eyes rolled. But like, to be real with you, do you need all these super amazing tools up front? Probably not. But I mean, yes. Is it super easy to say, hey, go make all your thumbnails in Photoshop and pay Adobe the money and like, oh, and go get DaVinci, but also maybe pay for that. Like, there's so many things that you can say, hey, maybe let's take this a step at a time. So edit in CapCut. And then when CapCut doesn't have a feature you need, there you go. Bring it into DaVinci and use those features and slowly build out your tool arsenal around that. You don't become if you're doing, especially if you're doing everything yourself, you don't have anyone to help you. You need to take those shortcuts. And sometimes it's me sitting in a call saying to the DaVinci guy, hey, maybe use CapCut. Probably not the best thing, but like, to be real, do you need it? Probably not. You know how many clients I've had that edit images? They Instagram stories, they turn their phone sideways and they edit images in their Instagram story. Like, how many times I've gotten mock-ups for that? I've seen thumbnails designed in there. So like, you can do it all. And it's like, you can do it all, but just take it in bite-sized chunks. And look for those like easier apps. Like, everything doesn't have to be super Photoshop or super Premiere, DaVinci, whatever. Just it's okay to start small.
So is it? Yeah, I was gonna mention that there are people who make thumbnails in Fusion, which is insane to me. It's crazy.
So Wampus has been trying to get me over to Resolve for a minute. So like, finally, I've been over the past year. I've been watching videos and stuff. Like, okay, fine. And I started seeing people doing it in Fusion, and I'm like,
hell no.
From someone that's learned like Photoshop, I'm like, what? The whole node system before I started Blender, I was like, I don't know what we're doing here. There's little boxes and there's cables, and you plug this in, and for some reason that does color correction. So all that, I'm like, that's fun to me. But
for you, if you were let's say you are short on time and you're streaming, you're trying to make videos, and then you're trying to promote them on social media. When you're going about making those clips, what would you say is like, if you're short on time, what are you trying to prioritize with something like that? Like, what do you feel like the captions are the most important? Do you feel like the sound effects are the most important? Like, do you think the content is the most important? Do you think, like, what What would you emphasize?
Okay. If we're talking short form, or just content in general,
I think short. Let's stick
short
with
form.
short form.
I mean, your hook is going to be the biggest thing.
Okay.
So like that's why you see all the TikToks where like, I can't believe they did this in the like super AI voice, and then it like goes into it. It's because you stay there and go, well, what did they do?
What did they do?
What did they do? So if it's, you know, I'm not saying like go clip farm, but like your hook is the most important part. It's like just watch how you scroll reels. How quick are you sitting a reel? As a video editor, how quick are you sitting there doing that? Are you giving the editor of this TikTok grace by being like, "Oh, I'll increase your watch time"? Because no, you're not. You're scrolling. You're scrolling past that. You're not concerned about the editor.
Yeah.
So like, I would say it's like the biggest thing is audio, because if you're trying to watch a movie and their audio sounds like you're not gonna watch that. You'll watch a blurrier video before you'll watch something with bad audio. So I would say that's, to me, a very important part. So get some good sound effects, get some like, and I mean like, you could pay a month on Epidemic or like what I mean. There's a million sites for them.
We're Team Epidemic. They sponsored it.
Team Epidemic, same. Epidemic is great. But like, yeah, there's a million sites for them, and then you don't. As someone that does branding, don't blast your branding all over short form. Don't have your Twitch, TikTok, but like prioritize captions. Also, Twitch just put out their clipping thing where like auto does captions. So if you're so concerned with captions, like it automatically captions stuff when you make a clip. So I mean, captions are easy. They're all going to look the same. So if you want your captions to look crazy, then there's a reason to get into the programs.
For the first, I wouldn't say a year. We'll say like 6 months when I was editing. I had a Premiere subscription just so I could caption. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to do it in DaVinci. I was just like, good Lord, man, make this happen. Please, dude.
Adobe still has me.
No, I'm still in Photoshop. I tried Affinity recently, and Affinity's cool. I like it, but there's little hitches where when I want to do something quickly, it doesn't happen, and
it doesn't happen.
Surprise me. All right, can we get a big round of applause for Candy? Oh, hold on, one more time.
W Candy. W questions all across the.
You guys did good with the questions today. Sometimes you guys are stinkers, so we had some good questions today. All right, if you guys are still in the stream, now's your turn to participate and get feedback on stuff that you are working on. So if you have a video that you want reviewed, if you have, actually, who's be a good person to ask for thumbnail advice? Atlas. Maybe not so much on, like the perfect strategy, but Atlas can quickly look at an image and go, that shit, change that, look at this.
Yep.
He's a good person to get help on graphics. So I'll say this, if you have graphics or thumbnails that you're working on, let's prioritize those. And otherwise send videos or channels that you want to work on. And graphics wise, I'm not sure if there's going to be a great place to send it outside of the Discord unless it's already live on your channel. So what I'll say is in the chatting pool. All right, so the general chat in the Discord, there should be a place to send images or links. So if you're in the Discord, go ahead and send it there. Yeah, we'll start there. I gave everybody just a second. Just a schmicken or a second. While people are doing that, what are you working on right now, ma'am? What are some stuff that you working on or cooking up?
What can I talk about? A lot around the bar stuff. We are currently building out. I'm like redoing a bunch of the branding. We just did our merch drop a few months ago.
Okay, nice.
And so I've been stepping way more into the producer role of like actually having a set and like being around the set. So it's been funny. I go in like an actual bartender and I like go and I clean off all the surfaces and I go and wash all the dishes and like I was in the restaurant industry as like a teenager. I worked my entire way out of it to like not be a dishwasher. And now here I am being a dishwasher. I was in finance. I want to get out of spreadsheets. Here I am running a business back in spreadsheets. Yeah, that's so like around the bar is our main priority, and then the new COD's coming out, so we're absolutely dialing in for that. And I got a few projects that like I'm just working on in the meantime, like administrative stuff. So kind of building our portfolio reel out and like our website and stuff like that. But there's a lot of like admin stuff that just sucks to talk about. But I'm like, it kind of just is like kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say the bartending thing because when my grandpa owned a landscaping business, so every summer and during the week, no, I wouldn't say every weekend, but like a lot of times during the weekends, I'd work with him. I'd mow lawns.
Right.
It's a good job for the, it's not, there's worse jobs to have, mowing lawns, doing a little mow and blow, little weed whacking and, all that kind of stuff. But by the time I turned 18, dude, I didn't want to be farther away from a pusher mower. I just could not stand it. So a friend of mine's dad, like, hey, he worked at an engineering business, and he was like, hey, if you want, you can come work with us for the summer. We have some like odds and ends that you can do. And I was like, oh, cool, bet. Like, yeah, that'd be great. Like, and I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, in my head, as long as I don't have to mow another goddamn lawn, I'm good, man. I'm good. So sure enough, I that was a shit, dude. But I pulled up 6 a.m. I'm 18. I'm crabby as hell. And then they're like, all right, we'll go ahead and get you started. And you best believe, walked out front door, weed whacker pusher, and he said, you know how to use this? I was like, God.
Yes, I do.
Sure do. He's like, go ahead, get the compound. Should take you most of the day. I was like, yes, sir. Thank you so much. Candy, if you want something reviewed, if you have a link, you can go ahead and share it in the chat. Otherwise, in the general chat in the Discord, it'd be a good place for images. So first up, can you see my desktop?
Yeah, I also just have the app up.
Okay. So this is from Stranger. Stranger, can you give us a title as well?
I think he did.
Did he?
Yeah, ready or not, but I left my guns at home.
All right. So this is a Battlefield video. Got going on here. What do you guys think? So Atlas will give his thoughts. How do you guys feel about title thumbnail combination as is?
Okay, I'm gonna go a little hard on you. So the background. There's a lot. Your character is blending in with the background really hard. So one of the biggest tricks that I do with my thumbnails is I like in my Photoshop document or whatever you're using is I just back out so far. If you can't tell what I'm supposed to like pay attention to, and I will like make it super small on my screen, and I'll walk into my kitchen there, and I'll stare at it from like across my kitchen. And if my eyes aren't directed on what I'm supposed to be looking at it full screen, it doesn't matter how like what the size is. So on this, I would say your background is blending into your character so much that like maybe make it monochrome, maybe give your character a white outline or something like that. That'd be the first thing I'd say. Also, it's hard to not attack the concepts, but I'm gonna kind of have to go for the concepts. I don't know what I'm supposed to actually care about here. I know there's an arrow, but the arrow's small, and like I know it's saying I left my guns at home. But why does the question I'm trying to ask myself is why does the viewer care about this? So if this is a challenge type of video, if this is a something like that, like I think something more of a POV of the character, like maybe holding up fists, like looking at another character going like, what the hell? I think that can be something, but typically if you have text in a thumbnail that is saying I can explain or something like that, you want it to either the title to ask the question and the thumbnail can answer it, kind of, or vice versa. So it's saying they told me I wasn't, or they told me I couldn't bring guns to this. And then you have a character with a gun and saying, like, I'm sorry, or so, like, it's hard to kind of describe this without actually like having a direct example, but I would say something along those lines, saying answer the question, but don't overly answer it because you want your video to answer the question. So for this, I would say in terms of just this thumbnail, give me more reason to understand like why I care about the taser in the hand. And you can do that in a multitude of ways. You can kind of magnify it. You can, I don't know if you're working with custom. Yeah, I don't know if you can do custom. If you're doing custom models, it kind of looks like you're doing a custom model here. Have them like holding the gun up, like not just off to, because like this doesn't really give us an answer. Holding it like this in front of the character could give us a little bit more, and make it pop a bit more. The easiest way to do that is put them on a Windows background. So grassy, grass and a blue sky behind them.
Green grass.
And that works more than I'd like to admit. And that sucks. But that's kind of just true.
Wait, we have Crosif.
I hope that helped.
And is that Hitch on the ATB account or?
Oh God.
Or would it be somebody else?
Oh,
the boss man.
Oh man. Wait, hold on. I'm locked now. I'm locked. Why are you? Aren't you supposed to be? No, that's
just chilling, man. Chilling.
Hey man, I'm not gonna say shit to him.
I helped Stranger make this thumbnail. That on me. What's up with that?
Did I? So what was
I really like this concept.
I just think the colors blend a lot. Genuinely, I think if you muted the background a little bit and gave a little bit more, even like a little bit of drop shadow to that text, I think it could do numbers. Magnify that the reason we should care, and I think it could work better.
Do you think it would be worth? Oh, it's just Crow on the other account. Do you think it would be worth on a thumbnail like this replacing the background entirely, or just either like blurring it more, desaturating it more? Because I do feel like sometimes it's nice to have gaming videos where you can like actually see the environment, but there is a lot of strength to like simplifying it to like a single color, real simple, whatever.
So this is a little different because like I don't know I'm not like in this community, so I don't necessarily know what it would take me like 20 minutes to go through and kind of look at similar kind of videos.
Right.
I think the issue here is either if you could change, I don't know, that's kind of difficult. I think it's just having them pop from it a little bit more. Because I would put them outside. My goal is always to put people outside because it makes it easier to like have a brighter ceiling, like kind of the sky, so they're more contrasty against it. But that's what I'd go from there.
This was, I'm sure you saw it, but this is their other thumbnail that they were working with.
Something like that, and you could have someone off to the right. Like you move this character a little bit left, and you gave this thumbnail like a white outline of being like, this is the contraband that I'm not supposed to have. And off to the left off to the right is like the guy going like, what the hell? That answers that question. It creates an argument in the title. It goes like, hey, I wasn't supposed to have this. And immediately kind of poses the, like, here's the argument that this video is going to explain.
Yeah.
Is kind of cool.
Stranger, do you have any other questions on this? Sorry, go ahead, Atlas.
You're good. The last thing on that is, like, sometimes over explanation in a thumbnail, like, that doesn't necessarily look like a gun. So if I'm playing this game and I should know that you don't have a gun, shouldn't I know that's a taser and it's non-lethal? Like, and maybe, and again, this is probably my non-experience in this game to know. But I think sometimes you don't always have to put text on a thumbnail to go from there. And I'd be happy to kind of workshop that one with you. But I think that's where I'd go from there. I don't think you always have to super explain yourself.
Yeah, sure. All right, that's some good feedback. Can we get some round of applause for Stranger?
W Stranger.
Thank you. We like Stranger. He's good people. He's a keeper. All right. Next up, Discord is hiding your username from me because I forgot to toggle that setting off. So if you're here in the stream, please speak up because I am curious about the title on this video. But their comment was in all caps. So screamed it from the rooftop. This is for a gameplay I'm editing for 3 months, but I'm not improving.
Okay. Let me pull this up full screen here.
What do you guys think in the stream? Thoughts?
I think I take it that's you. Your composition is great. I would make the threat of the person behind you more like maybe there's a light behind them, maybe there's kind of rim lighting around, because right now they kind of just look like a mountain or like like a castle in the background. And I don't know if that's the game. It's got to be the game top right. That is a very complex logo that is just going to blend into the background. So I would color overlay that like a white, or try to give it some pop. That's a very complex logo though, so I don't know how that would work as well.
I would be team remove it.
I would either remove it, or I don't even think you need text on this, because I think you can. I don't know if this is like a let's play or something like that, but I think that game could probably be good for your title. And then if you're gonna have like books and stuff, especially in thumbnails, like the book in the bottom right, that's like blurred out. Again, don't know too much about the game, but I would say like I would be careful on that, because right now it doesn't give as much depth as I think you're going for.
Yeah, I think if you were to enlarge her so that, or even just make like, you could play around with the staging of her and where she's located at the thumbnail, but this is like a really cool draw to the video, like something menacing and creepy. That would be what I would look at. I don't know if the blurred book here is like a timestamp strategy where you're trying to have the timestamp pop out more, but I don't know if there's a need for this otherwise.
I don't think there's a need for that.
And then like stylistically, you could, I don't know this niche. I don't know what's common, kind of like what you were saying before about Ready or Not, but like there could be some really subtle things you do with the color of the book to have this pop out just a little bit more, or just maybe add like a little bit more green jacket. So there's just some more identifiable objects in the thumbnail, but it, like you said, it's a really pretty thumbnail. It's a really cool composition. It might just,
the composition's great.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know if you need the book bottom right. If you're going to do some to the book, maybe make the symbol on the front glow.
Yeah.
There's a really easy Photoshop kind of glowing thing. like tutorials and stuff out there. And then if you're in Photoshop, work with exposure layers in creating shadows and highlights. I think those could do really well. A little goes a long way on highlights and shadows, but just to make your character, like, you pop a bit more, I think that I think it looks pretty good so far, though. I think you had someone say the blurred book keeps grabbing my attention. I agree, and I don't think that's the intended use.
Yeah, I'm curious if there was a reason, or if it's just leftovers from a layer that didn't get used.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty. It's a super pretty picture or thumbnail. It's kind of like a. I'm more curious what the title is. Do we
Yeah.
is the person
and-
here? I would love to know what the title of this video is.
If your title and thumbnail don't necessarily correlate, let's start making that out. You need to have something to tie the two together, because as important as the thumbnail is, the title is just as well, and vice versa.
Yeah. The other thing too, I just thought about with I'm not sure if this is a popular game in other parts of the world, but as far as I'm aware of, it's not like a mainstream AAA title or anything like that. So normally if you're going to put any kind of like recognizable title, logo mark, iconography, it's because that is like a thing that people know. So if this is a thing that people know, try to give it a reason to click on it. Otherwise, there's not really a need to like act that on the thumbnail.
Agree.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So Vanguard support me. Okay, well, can we translate? Maya went for the fort alone. Okay.
So it's just an international title.
Yeah.
I don't think you need the title on it. Oh, that's the title itself.
Yeah.
I think the title's probably fine. It's really long, but I also don't know how. I'd have to look for context, and this will go for probably more people as well. Look around at similar videos. Like, what are their titles like? What are their thumbnails like? Don't go and copy them, but I think kind of correlate what. Hey, if there's a 100-hour video that you're doing, what if 100-hour thumbnails look like in the past? So you can kind of develop it into your own style. I think that's probably one of the better pieces of advice that I could do. But I'd go from there.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Is it Crazy Mike? Crazy MK? 6937? Thank you so much. Can we get a round of applause? Thank you. All right, we got one more, and it is the one and only Miss Tish, the candy artist. And make sure we don't get autoplayed. All right. Said I'm working on getting a thumbnail that I can use as a base for my live stream so I can create something quickly when I'm doing my scheduling. I can't get photos to load here, but here's my, okay. So we're looking at the live stream thumbnails, I'm going to assume. Okay. All right.
I mean, these aren't bad.
No,
All
yeah.
I would say is just throw a live, they're like red,
yeah.
Like the red box with live in it. I would throw those on there. Here's the thing with live thumbnails. They don't have to be super doctored. If people are going to like click into you making candy, or whatever your niche is, uh, typically, I mean, a little bit of, love and stuff into the thumbnail is great, but to me, you're doing enough here, um, to say like, hey, I'm making candy, or I'm doing whatever, and just making sure it has that live thing on there, because people want to. If people are going to check out a VOD, that's one thing, but they tend to want to check out live channels first, especially because YouTube is awful for streaming. It is so bad. There's no discoverability on streams until it's like too late. So that is kind of what I'd go for from there.
Okay.
Also, if you're looking for thumbnails for Candy Already specifically, I'm gonna just throw it in here. Claire Savitz was she is like a master at work in terms of her YouTube performance. So if you're just looking for thumbnails in general, her stuff came from, I can't remember what outlet she used to work at, but her cooking stuff did insanely well. So for you specifically, this is one of the cases that my YouTube rabbit hole expertise has done well. Her candy stuff, I would kind of look at that and take some inspiration from her.
Yeah, I like your thumbnails too. I tend to find that people try to do too much with thumbnails when they're first starting out, because they just want to show like all the stuff that's going to happen in the video, the live stream. I'm a huge fan of real simple. So like this kind of stuff is my speed. It's like, okay, yep, see you. I see you in my feed. What about I feel like her treatment on her face is pretty solid as well. Do you have any advice on her pick, or meh?
The thing is with thumbnails, unfortunately, you have to kind of stick to the faces you got. So if there's 5 or 6 faces that you got, it has to make sure that it looks like you. So consistently, for most of my clients, I have the same folder I've been using for 5 years, and trust me, like there's a Warzone guy. His name is, or not even, he's not even a Warzone guy anymore. He's like Call of Duty man, and his name is T-Dog Smitty. And I've been asking him for pictures of him to make thumbnails for years, and he sends me the same blurry thumbnail picture every time. So sometimes that's just what you get. But I think the faces you're using are great. Make those consistent. So like if you're going to use your face on them, make sure you're using them consistently, because people aren't typically looking at your channel like this for VODs unless they're like, they're down with the cause. They're about the candy stuff. So they want to see you. If they're coming for your content, they want to see you. So make sure you're using that. And I would say like give it a bit of personality in terms of like the candy stuff. So you're same thing, kind of like, why do I want to watch this about candy? It's like, what are we doing in this? It could be like cooking stream, or like taste tests, or trying stuff out. Like have some text on there too to have what the stream's about. But other than that, I think those are great.
Ice, who's in the chat, has just started working. Part of the family.
Well, absolutely. I've been working with T-Dog since he had 20 viewers on Twitch. He's the absolute man.
He is a legend, dude. He is a sweetheart. Can we get a big round of applause for Candy? Thank you for sharing.
www.
Thank you everybody for sharing. Okay, so I just got a message, and I don't think anybody's over there. I think my Twitch stream break. No, back up.
No, it's been working for me.
Okay. I got a message that it was bugging for some, so, and that hasn't been an issue. Right. Well, sir, I think that might conclude office hours for this Thursday. Can we
Awesome.
please get a massive, huge round of applause for Atlas for coming on and dedicating 2 hours of his day to come chat with you guys. He is a very, very busy man. We appreciate it.
It's been like an absolute honor to just like chat with you, and we get to like make an excuse of this, of like, hey, we're gonna do this on camera, so it's cool that we can ramble for 200 uninterrupted hours.
Yeah,
So, absolute
work.
pleasure. I've learned a bunch too here being here. It's really nice actually having people ask questions and you go like, oh, what would I do there? Like, what would I do? But thank you guys, seriously. Give some love to Wampus too, because he is the absolute man that helps me with so many things. So I appreciate your guys' time, and maybe we'll do. You know, if you want me back, I could answer questions all day long. So well, I appreciate it. But
I would love it. Where can what's the best place for somebody to find you, or what you?
Oh, just go to Twitter. Twitter. You know, I think he said in the description.
There should be your Twitter.
I am the Atlas. If you're trying to follow me and all the things I do, Twitter would be the best. If you're trying to keep up my event stuff, Twitter icons GG 2 eyes, icons GG, and I appreciate you guys. That's all I got.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and call this stream here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out on Thursday, man. If you guys do want to come do office hours again and get DaVinci help, feedback, any of that kind of stuff, we do these Thursdays, normally noon PM PST. There is an event in the Discord that you can follow. Yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon, mornings, evenings, and I will